welcome to another installment of Lifting Our Voices, a weekly look at church music. I'm Jim Boatwright, Director of Music here at Redeemer Lutheran Church in Columbia, South Carolina. Probably a lot of you recognize that hymn that I was playing. It's been used an awful lot in the church since it first came out in the mid-'80s. I know it's been used at funerals and it's been used at church services. It's even been used at weddings and baptisms because it's a ballad more than anything else. And it's a ballad about our lives and about how in the ups and downs of life and the goods and the bads of life and the wandering that we do, God is always there and God is always looking out for us. The song was written by a man named John Ylvisaker, and he was a Lutheran musician, and he's actually been called the Bob Dylan of Lutheran music of all things. Well, that may be fair enough because his music is ballad-like. It's like folk music, folk songs. It's very singable, it's very relatable, and for the most part, very catchy. But I actually think it was Bob Seger that had a bigger influence on Mr. Ylvisaker. You might remember some of Pete Seeger's music. If you're old enough, you may remember things like Where Have All the Flowers Gone, If I Had a Hammer, Midnight Special, and the famous Turn, Turn, Turn. Well, much like Dylan and much like Pete Seeger, Ylvisaker was active also in the civil rights movement in the 1960s. And some of his music, like the one we just heard, sort of has a little bit of that flavor. Well, we're learning a new liturgy here at Redeemer, and part of that liturgy is the song, This is the Feast. It's our hymn of praise that we sing early in the service. Mr. Ylvisaker wrote that setting of This is the Feast. And This is the Feast is the song in which we proclaim, Worthy is Christ, the Lamb who was slain, whose blood set us free to be people of God. Power and riches, wisdom and strength, and honor and blessing and glory are his. This is the feast of victory for our God. Alleluia. So I'd like to play for you a little bit of that song that we're learning, that part of the liturgy called This is the Feast. And it was written by John Ylvisaker. See you next time on Lifting Our Voices.